Resident Evil has grown into one of the most popular and influential survival horror game franchises to date. As time has gone on, Resident Evil has evolved from its B-movie roots and tank controls to photorealistic visuals, high-quality dialogue, and engaging gameplay. But even after changing and rebuilding themselves over the last 25 years, there are still moments across the franchise we wish we could forget about altogether. But sometimes these moments are so awful you can't help but laugh at them, and we're going to look at just a few of them. All these moments from the franchise are from my own experiences of playing Resident Evil since day one, but feel free to chime in with your own take in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to stay notified of new Resident Evil content. Number 1. Resident Evil, most of the dialogue. This list wouldn't be complete if we didn't include the dialogue from the original Resident Evil. Back in 1996, the first Resident Evil was released. We should have had alarm bells ringing when we saw the live-action cutscenes being used. The acting was wooden and the dialogue laughable. Even the in-game cutscenes suffered from terrible line delivery. While the gameplay, plot and horror atmosphere would help see the game become successful, it could never shake the bad smell of the intense cheesy acting coming from the cast and voice actors. Number 2. Resident Evil 2, Robert Kendo too friendly? When you began in Resident Evil 2 during the A scenario after avoiding the tanker explosion, you find yourself in the streets of Raccoon City trying to avoid the multitude of zombies stalking you. Dodging and weaving between zombies and fire, you reach the Kendo gun shop. Turning up as Leon, you meet Kendo who locks the door, but zombies break through and devour Kendo, leaving you his shotgun to claim. But when playing as Claire in Scenario A, Kendo's dialogue changes a little bit to be more flirty and almost lecherous.
Ooh, sorry about that, babe. But don't you worry, girlie. You'll be safe in here.
Considering dialogue in Resident Evil games back in the 90s wasn't exactly stellar, this only came across as more laughable and cringy than ever. Number 3. Resident Evil 4, Leon running the laser corridor. This one is inspired from the first Resident Evil film of Mila Jovovich. The scene in question involves several Special Forces members getting cut to ribbons by a laser booby trap in a glass corridor. Resident Evil 4 replicates this moment with Leon Kennedy dodging and weaving all the lasers thrown at him. Now in the movie this sequence was slightly believable and worked okay for what it was, considering the use of lasers. But in Resident Evil 4, after the first 2 laser obstacles, it starts to get really silly, to the point where Leon can run up a sheer vertical wall a good 6 to 9 feet, then do a backwards flip over a 10-foot wall of lasers. And to finish it off, he enters the next room and sits in Osmond Saddler's throne, like a smug American James Bond. Number 4. Resident Evil 6, Inappropriate Playtime. Resident Evil 6 itself suffered from trying to please everyone with different gameplay styles and themes across all 4 major characters and campaigns. The main campaigns all try to do a different style of gameplay, with Leon representing the classic survival horror gameplay, Chris taking on the action-orientated style, Jake doing his own thing with a Nemesis-style creature chasing him, and lastly Ada with her own campaign. While the campaigns and plots were a bit messy, this was topped by a moment that made absolutely no sense. Playing as Chris Redfield, you can enter a kid's playground, and even more strange, you can ride the panda, crawl under the climbing frame, and go down the slides. While the intention may have been to have some innocent humour in the game, this just came across as stupid and ill-timed. Also makes the characters look immature and out of place. So much so you can't help but laugh at how bad it was, which was probably the main intention in the first place. Number 5. Resident Evil, Jill's Sandwich. This will go down as one of the most famous lines from Resident Evil, and would spawn many homages and Easter egg references for many years to come. And this all stemmed from the moment Jill is trapped in a sealed room with the ceiling about to crush her, but Barry saves her at the last minute and utters the immortal line,
"That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich."
This was not only one of the most funny moments in Resident Evil, but would also never be topped. The remake tried to play this line down a little bit, but the original will always be the one that every single Resident Evil fan remembers. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please take a moment and leave a comment below to discuss your thoughts on what moments you thought were cringy. Don't forget to like and share this video on social media, and also subscribe and ring the bell to stay notified of new Resident Evil content. Thank you everybody, and I'll see you again soon.